what you come into agreement with, right? Our thoughts then become our actions, which usually passes through the filter of our words. So what you are coming into agreement with happens, right? Only people that control and manipulate others are people that feel scared. The only reason. And that don't know how to emotionally regulate and actually feel their feelings. Like, if you actually knew how to just be like 100% congruent, which is what we talk about in Think Like a Winner, how to do that. And it usually starts with being like, you know what, I don't have it all together, and that's okay. What's up, everybody? Coach Megan here with the #1 pageant podcast, the Powerhouse Podcast. And again, no makeup queen today, but I got things on my heart we got to say. So who enjoyed last week? I feel like that was new information that I'd never really shared before. So I'm super excited to continue to dive deeply with you guys about this episode, which is called Cause versus Effect. So there is a neurolinguistic programming framework. I'm going to teach you guys one of them, okay? Which we teach inside of Think Like a Winner. And it is a huge thing that we teach inside of Pageant Academy as well. And this is going to launch and catapult your results like crazy, and also be a really great way for you to like audit your mind as things happen. Okay. So taking cause versus taking effect. Have you guys ever like been around someone? Because obviously not you. No, none of you were good. None of you were doing this. You're all perfect. Have you ever been around somebody that just is very negative and everything is someone else's fault? They stub their toe and it's someone else's fault, right? If a tree fell in the forest, they'd blame it on whichever president they don't like. I don't know, right? So just people that, gosh, it's always someone else's fault. And I don't hang out with people like this. So whenever I hear it, it's like when the Bible talks about like a clanging cymbal, like somebody pretty much just like might as well have put like cymbals right in front of me, because I'm like, dude, what a prison to live in your own head. But obviously all of you guys are perfect. Okay. So taking cause versus effect, what this is it's really, really important, because it will change the direction of your life, like I said, and cause you, no pun intended, to get back in control of your life in such a way. And how many of y'all know being out of control doesn't feel very good? Like, it sucks. It gives me anxiety, like it does. And it gives a lot of you anxiety and makes you feel feelings that you don't want to feel, which we talked about last time. I want to challenge you today to apply this immediately and wholeheartedly and go all in, because you can't really 80-20 this thing. You got to go all in. So what is cause versus effect? Cause versus effect is making the decision to say, everything that happens to me was not because of me, but everything that happens to me from now on, I take 100% responsibility for how to fix it. Now, what this doesn't mean is, it doesn't mean that you go on taking everybody else's burdens and problems and you become a martyr and everything's your fault and everything is your responsibility in other people's lives. Doesn't mean that you have no boundaries. Doesn't mean that you have no values and standards and you don't take care of yourself. But what it does mean is that you start operating with true leadership and you say, okay, this is the situation. It might suck. It might have failed. I might have tried something. I might be experiencing emotions that I don't like. But at the end of the day, I'm going to take it and run with it. And I'm going to make an amazing life, out of this. So, or I'm going to, what do I do now? Basically, I can tell a lot even when I'm on strategy calls with people, or the way that people talk and DMs and things like that. I can immediately tell whether I even want to get on a strategy call with you, whether you're a fit for Pageant Academy, which is why I have people fill out an application if they want to work with us, because at that level. And it's not because I don't love everybody. It's just when someone is stuck in effect, it is oftentimes for a few reasons. And one, usually it's all they've been around their whole life, probably around people that have had the same job or can't keep a job and are switching jobs multiple times. And everything's always the boss's fault, the teacher's fault, the guy who changed my oil change's fault. And honestly, these people just have things happen to them all the time. It's crazy how you can look at two people's life, and I can get spiritually into this too, because life and death are in the power of the tongue. And you're the prophet of your own life, and what you choose to come into agreement with is what manifests. And I don't care if you're a Christian or not. I mean, I do. But whether you're a Christian or not, the spiritual principle is the same. New Age people believe this as much as Christians should believe this, because they're all kingdom biblical principles. But that's what everyone's over and over and over. So what you come into agreement with, right? Our thoughts then become our actions, which usually passes through the filter of our words. And so what you are coming into agreement with happens, right? Like if you expect your oil change to go wrong, it's going to go wrong. If you expect to lose the race, you're going to lose the race. If you expect to stay single until you're 35, you're going to stay single till you're 35. Like it just is, right? Or there's going to be a boatload of counterfeits that come that are actually not the person for you, and you just accept whatever comes in play because you're actually acting in fear and just like like kind of a whatever kind of life. And then guess what? Like your life's gonna be whatever. Okay. God doesn't just drop good things into your lap because you weren't intentional. Can good things still happen? Absolutely. But why do great things continually happen to the same people who put in the effort, who get their mouths right, get their thoughts right, who are very, very intentional high performers? Why does success just seem to come to them? It's because, the 80% of the iceberg that you're not seeing is that it's really the 100% that they've decided they've taken cause for their life. And they're like, okay, sink or swim, we're doing this. Sink or swim, I'm figuring this out. Sink or swim, I'm going to be a good person. Sink or swim, I'm going to keep believing. Right. And so this is super, super, super important. And as I'm working with my clients, now I'm very blessed. Like most pageant girls get this already, but we just need some fine tuning and some tweaking. But what's a really great framework for this and what's really helpful is that I like it because you can remind yourself and just say, am I in cause or effect right now? And not that we don't all, feel sorry for ourselves sometimes, like sometimes when I've been pregnant and I've been really moody or something, my husband will gently remind me of this fact or the other day, actually, I was really upset about something because I was mega stressed about something that made me feel out of control, made me feel just nervous and afraid about some things in the future. I kind of left, how do I want to describe this? Like my armor wasn't on correctly, right? I didn't guard myself with the word when it came to this. And so when the enemy tried to come in this area and attack and get me worried, I got into fear and I started processing that out loud, and I got into effect really easily. I ended up blaming my husband for something. And this is where he's just like so amazing because he knew it wasn't about him. And he very gently and so lovingly was like, I was just mad. So I was totally mad. I was like a spitting animal, just like, around. We're getting into bed and he was just like, okay, babe, honey, do you wanna try again? Do you wanna really choose to take this out on me? And it was so beautiful how he said that because it was like him helping me realize that this had nothing to do with him. And oh, that's what it was. It was laundry. He had put some laundry on the bed and it wasn't folded. And I was like, "No, it was so bad. It was so bad. I just made it such a bigger deal than it needed to be." And then he was like, okay, honey, do you really want to make this about me and about the laundry? Because he just knew I was stressed about this other thing. And because he's so amazing, it's just awesome. So I was able to then disarm myself because he disarmed me too, rather than like fanning the flame. And marriage podcast coming soon of how we get through all these communication things. But for real, watch the road show launching in June, for real. And it was so beautiful because then he chose to humble himself, which made it easier for me to humble myself and feel safe enough to not continue to be a raging bull. And I said, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. This has nothing to do with you. I'm pissed about blah, blah, blah. And I'm making this a way bigger deal than it is. And then it was so beautiful because I could lean into the emotion of what was really happening. And usually, too, why people are in effect, you guys, is because they're just afraid to say this. You know what, babe? I'm sorry. This had nothing to do with laundry. I'm just scared. I'm scared. And I'm having a hard time right now because the enemy's throwing false futures and false pictures of XYZ is going to happen. And I'm afraid to fail. Or I'm afraid of being disappointed. Or I'm afraid of, right? And I was able to just say what I was actually afraid of and feel those feelings for a second. And he grabbed my hand and he said, babe, I love you. I'm here to support you. It's going to be okay. And all of a sudden, all of that anger disappeared and dissipated rather than avoiding it and blaming and blaming and blaming and blaming and staying mad for another 2 hours or something, which I've totally done before, right? or I need to go to the gym and come back, or, whatever, like, oh, to blow off some steam, or whatever excuses we make, right? And we stay in that emotion because whatever we resist persists. And so instead of just being like, I'm scared, you know what? I'm angry. I'm really angry that I don't have a solution for this. And I'm hurting my own feelings, and I'm angry that I'm not where I want to be, and I'm disappointed in myself, right? Rather than like, oh, poor me, I'm disappointed and it's everyone else's fault why I'm fat, or it's everyone else's fault why I don't know how to put makeup on, don't know how to do my hair. I'm like, name whose fault it is. Like, you don't know how to do your eyebrows because of Tammy Sue over here. Like, that is literally insane. That is stupid. That is psychotic. Okay. So being at cause for a life puts the power back in your hands to just be like, homegirl, just be real with yourself. And this is what Think Like a Winner is all about, is it's teaching you these strategies to, in a moment where this is where everything shifts and either your pageant weekend is gonzo because you are comparing yourself and you're crying in the bathroom. I can't tell you how many stories I know of like people at Miss USA and Miss America that feel like they have it all together on the outside, and they're literally stressing the living crap out of their roommate because they're calling their mom every 15 seconds in the bathroom and bawling their eyes out because they cannot emotionally regulate, you guys. They have built this glass castle of practice, 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 got everything has to go right. And we'll continue to talk about this, but the only people that control and manipulate others are people that feel scared. The only reason. And that don't know how to emotionally regulate and actually feel their feelings. Like, if you actually knew how to just be like 100% congruent, which is what we talk about in Think Like a Winner, how to do that. And it usually starts with being like, you know what? I don't have it all together. And that's okay. I do have a pimple on my face, and that makes me insecure. Cool. What you gonna say about it? You gonna not like me? You gonna make fun of me? Okay. Great, I have a pimple on my face. Right? And I think I told you guys the story of Eminem in that whole movie where he's preparing for the rap battle at the end, and then in the end, this guy's gonna destroy him by sharing all of his secrets. And Eminem goes first, and he just shares all of them first. And it totally disarms the bomb of anything the other dude could have over him. And so some of you guys have just built this life, this fake life of holding it all together, hoping everything's perfect and pretty and my Instagram looks so good. And, you're asking me like, is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay? And I'm like, maybe, but none of this freaking matters if you don't fix you. This is all a distraction. And we'll get to that. We'll get to your social media. We'll get to your brand. We'll get to all the other things. Our 5-step process works all the time. Okay. What is that process? Fix your mindset and your identity. Then we focus on brand, why, paperwork, story, identity, hero journey. Then we work on interview. Then we work on stage presence. Then we work on long-term habits and behaviors and making sure that you are pressing into the next level of who you are as a winner, right? I did the same thing with my business owners, but this last level is habits so that they can make more money mindset, right? Yours is your mindset of seeing yourself actually win the pageant and being worthy of success, sustaining all of it, right? But literally none of that matters. If you try and fix stage presence before you fix your mindset, good luck. I just talked with a girl today on a strategy call. She said she'd done 15 sessions with one coach, 10 sessions with another coach. And these are like the biggest, the best coaches in the game. They coach all the Miss USAs and Miss Americas, okay? And they're hundreds of dollars an hour. And I was just like, okay, so you're still coming to me for walking, but you've done 25 sessions now of walking and interview, and you're still terrified and you feel weird the second you get on stage. This is an embodiment problem. This is a congruency problem. This has nothing to do with walking. And it's just crazy how some people are still not open to like fixing the thing that needs to be fixed. It's just mind-boggling. I'm like, here you are going to go spend $200 an hour for 15 more sessions. Let's do that math. That's is that $3,000? $3,000? 200 times 15. $3,000. $3,000. $3,000. And then you're going to buy a $3,000 dress. And then you're going to buy $200 shoes. You're going to pay $1,000 for hair and makeup. And you literally didn't fix the freaking problem. That is dumb. That is literally dumb. Okay? Buy our course instead. Go buy Think Like a Winner. It will fix you. Then come back to me and they're going to be like, holy crap, this is so addicting and cheaper than therapy. Amen. Love therapy. This is just different. And then you're going to be like, dude, what do I do next? Great. Hop in the Powerhouse Club. Go to thepowerhouseclub.com. Join. You can hang out with us and hear more of this stuff and grow even more, develop even more twice a month. Low key, but more accountability. Okay. Practice your interview skills, blah, blah, blah. Get strategy, get clarity. And then when you're ready to really transform, well, you can transform before that. You can go win. Again, we had a national pageant or a state pageant winner and a USA pageant win just from our podcast the other day. So like, imagine actually paying us. Okay. Then when you're ready, join the academy, 6 months of personal mentorship with me. And then you can stay on as long as you want month to month after that. Okay. It's like, I'm trying to make this so easy for you and so affordable that you would literally be stupid not to go do it for yourself. Like, what is your mental health worth? What is your identity and feeling congruent with yourself and knowing how to actually not feel weird on stage and not clam up and not freak out for onstage question? Like, what is that worth to you? It's a few $100s. Like, we made this so easy. I can't even. So anyways, I'm excited for y'all. I want you to start taking cause for your life, not effect. So check yourself, okay? Check yourself the next time you're making some excuses and you're emotionally dysregulated and you're like, and just remember Coach Megan in your ear being like, think like a winner. This will teach you how to fix all of these things so that you can be better and not feel like a crazy cuckoo person and be that crazy girl at your pageant as being weird. Okay? Week 4 is all about being weird and behavior. We've all seen the girls that are just overly helpful, overly isolated, overly talkative, mean, emotionally unregulated. It's because you didn't actually do the work. So just do it. Okay? It's on sale for $500 right now. I don't know if it ever will be again. I mean, honestly, it needs to be sold at $1,500, like minimum. Okay? In 6 hours, you'll be done. You'll be done. 4 sessions, 6 hours, you'll be done. You'll have this stuff fixed. What is that worth to you? What is that worth to you? I even gave you a payment plan. Okay? So can't wait to see you inside the course. Do something nice for yourself before you do your pageants this season. And I'll see you guys next week.